The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a play fake here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. Derrick Henry, the intended receiver, out of the backfield. That'll bring up second down. On the ground, this is Derrick Henry. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. And the defense now for the Eagles.
Fletcher Cox is a Pro Bowl, all-pro talent at defensive tackle. And even though he didn't have his best year in 2016, still warranted double and triple teams from opposing offenses. If he's singled up, he usually finds his way into the opposing backfield to wreak a little bit of havoc.
On play action, Prescott. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
Just 34 yards on the punt there, no return. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So now here comes the Eagles offense as they get ready to take over. Leading them is their second-year quarterback, also the number 2 overall pick a season ago, Carson Wentz.
Many wondered if the Eagles gave up way too much to get the number 2 pick from Cleveland in order to draft Carson Wentz. But after his freshman campaign in the NFL, I think people believe they see positive signs from a big, strong-arm guy, an intelligent guy, and a really competitive player.
It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll bring up a second down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 22 carries, 86 yards.
And he's hoping to have the same type of game, but he's going up against the number 1 defense in the league, and they're very good at fitting the run. So now you've got to think offensive strategy, maybe a little more play action, and try and find some people open downfield.
Touchdown, Philadelphia! A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'll be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. I was waiting for them to get there first because the momentum they carry from last week, unbelievable. They had a snowman, 8 sacks.
You were surprised that it took this long, and this isn't that long, truthfully. But here's the thing. If you've seen that on tape, your offensive line is going to have to ask for help. Tight end has to stay in. If you use a fullback, keep him in. Make sure you have extra people to try and keep your quarterback upright. Didn't work on that play.
Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary. And I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket.
Play fake. Here's Prescott. Going down the middle, and it's complete. A gain of 32 that time.
We just saw him hit a big play there on a deep post. And most of the time, the post isn't available because usually you have defenders in the middle of the field. But if you throw enough curls and crossing routes and underneath routes, I know from experience, they get tired of watching those balls get caught. They start to creep up a little bit, and that's when you can hit them big over the top.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. The numbers on the ground for Henry last week. 15 carries, 91 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. The 1st down yardage before he's brought down just outside the 10 at the 11. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
I think I like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Prescott now. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. Fletcher Cox in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They're in the midst of a nice drive, but facing a 3rd and long here. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And his kick is absolutely perfect. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. And that field goal caps an 11-play drive.
That's a lot of offense to run to only get 3 points, but they'll take them. Anytime you can put anything on the board, you run to your sideline somewhat happy.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. They go play action here on first down. Toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time, and that'll bring up second down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Khalil Mack, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
Partner, I know the ball security's preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator, what does it do if it was 3rd and 10 versus 3rd and much longer as it is now?
Yeah, it changes everything in terms of play calling and the pressure you might expect to face on the very next down. Had to throw the ball away and save the yardage. He didn't get it done. So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded at about the 28. It's a 40-yard punt, but they lose yardage on the return. Well, if you haven't gotten enough football this Thanksgiving weekend, there's still more to come. Tonight,
yes,
you're pumped up. It's two of the most storied franchises in NFL history doing battle, the Packers and Steelers from Heinz Field. Then tomorrow night, more. Wrap up your Cyber Monday with the Texans at the Ravens from Baltimore.
Man, is it time to start shopping already?
Just go online, man. I said Cyber Monday. Click, click, click. Second down, Prescott. Eluding the pressure right. Room to run past midfield. As we saw in his rookie year, Dak not afraid to run with it. And he did there to pick up the first.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
A first down carry for Henry. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game, because that was his longest run of this contest.
They'll try to throw now. Prescott going deep for his tight end play. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. Oh, and he'll just, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted, thrown back across his body. Darius Slay with a pick. And this one will be brought back to the 22.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it. So those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On play action, it's Wentz. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 6 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a third down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Philadelphia after this. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with Larry Ridley in Orlando with highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
And I'm going to check in with a heater.
I'm going to be right there with you, partner. Wentz looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that is incomplete.
Perhaps they overthought this one a little bit. They've been running it real well on this drive, and it was 3rd and short, okay? They decided to throw the football incomplete. Yeah, they might have thought just a little bit too hard about that play selection.
The Eagles send out their punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On second down, here's Henry. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. The Bears on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Prescott flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be just shy of the 20 at the 19 as he goes out of bounds. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Now that definitely hurts because the mindset is getting a 3 and out there, and they don't get it done. They give up the scramble and a pickup for a first down. Prescott off play action.
And he'll toss this one incomplete. Seeing no options, he throws it away.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Now Prescott. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And that's a big collision. He's knocked backward as they will mark him down. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target. And he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Prescott. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And he gets it down to the 32. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. Prescott urging his guys to go quickly. They need to get up and set. And he spikes it to stop the clock, and now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So out comes the field goal team now for the second time here today. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. So they're still down, but they are able to salvage 3 here heading into the lockers.
This is what you work on from the beginning of training camp. Heading into the half, put some points on the board. No matter what the score says at that point, you've accomplished what you set out to do.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come to halftime here in Philly with the Eagles on top as we send you down to Orlando where we check in with Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Larry.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both the Eagles and the Bears haven't figured out yet how they're going to move the ball through the air. The defenses on both sides have kept points off the board, and it will be interesting to see if they can keep that up. All right, let's roll the highlights. Eagles here, they have it at the 47. He's free and clear of the defense here, and he'll go in from 2 yards out as they get out to a 7. Prescott, son.
There you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you termed that because now I think they go a little bit deep.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Now a play fake. Wentz. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's able to get up here to the 26. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now Wentz on third down. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Lynch in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you. You change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Let's see what our player spotlight feature has in store with Dak. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Prescott now on second down. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. A good decision in the end to pull it and run. Gets him 9 yards and a first.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down. That fits the bill.
Now Prescott. Flushed out right. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. A gain of 6 there on first. They'll run it now out of the gun. Strong run, but still wrangled before reaching the 20. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. So that's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
Being chased out left. He can run for it, and he will. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked, but instead they'll keep it on 2nd down.
I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost. And now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp on the sideline as he could not come up with that football. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit...
And it's intercepted at the goal line. Darius Slay with a pick. And they get the football, but not much on the return here as he stopped at the 7-yard line.
tell you, you don't have press conferences when you sign guys like this. But he's been a real difference maker so far. That's now 2 interceptions for him in the game. And when you're getting contributions up and down your 53-man roster, you're going to be all right.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. And they'll have a short field to work with inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski everywhere turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside.
And he takes this one in for a Bears touchdown. Allen Robinson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bears use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got after me.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. So trying to throw it in for 2 points, but the D got home, brought him down.
Yeah, got home, which means there had to be good coverage. Just had nowhere to go with the ball. Typically, we try and throw quick hitters, quick slants, maybe even a quick fade. Nothing was open. He ends up getting sacked.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking. But the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. He's got the hook up here to Deshaun Jackson. Past the 20. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Deshaun Jackson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there?
No, bottled up fumble. It's out. It's loose. And in the third quarter here, they were trying to push that to a 3-point game, but instead it'll stay at 1.
And I'm a big proponent of not chasing points or going for 2 too early. But in this case, I understand why. If you kick an extra point, you're just up 2, right? So a field goal still puts the other team ahead. So you go for 2 here and protect the field goal lead. They didn't get it done, though.
And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They begin with Henry. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him up.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 44. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter play. Throwing is Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a 2nd and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. They fake the give. Now Wentz. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Aaron Lynch in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now Wentz. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Danny Trevathan. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So out of bounds on the punt, and the spot will be, the side judge says, right at the 35-yard line here. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding some room at midfield. And still fighting. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Off the play fake, Prescott sliding out of the pocket. Room here to run. 20. Big yardage there on the scramble. It gets him a first down.
Partner, it's often that man coverage is easier for a quarterback to run against. You get your receivers going downfield. Those guys are staying with them, and oftentimes they have their back to the quarterback, which opens up a lot of space and room, and they don't even know that he's taken off with it. What a big-time pickup on that play.
Fights loose. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That would... It's almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And with that, they will move ahead by 2 here in the 4th. So the drive here ends with a field goal, and that does give them the lead, but this one is still a long ways from over.
And you love to be able to look up at the scoreboard and see that you're out in front, but then you take one look across the field and see that offense is raring to come back out, and you think, I don't know that field goals are going to be enough to get us home.
This will be taken short. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Shotgun now for Wentz. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Now Wentz. Goodwin able to haul it in. The 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Marquise Goodwin, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Eagles have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is up to 5. Elliott now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Derrick Henry trots back out there and gets ready to go. And the numbers show the improvement, and this is kind of what we thought we would expect to see from him. I know we overanalyze these things sometimes, but what switch? What's flipped that switch?
Sometimes I think when you're as great as he is, you just kind of roll out each game and expect good things to happen. And that's not always the case. Those guys on the other side of the ball, they're the NFL 2 for a reason. So maybe at halftime he gets a chance to regroup, kind of get it back together, get a little extra resolve, and now he's putting it into practice.
On 1st and 10, Prescott. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
They'll look to throw. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed him. Instead, 2nd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Back to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Taylor Gabriel, his second touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the lead here in the fourth quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the left. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for two, when to go for one. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for two and try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up one makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
He's back to throw. Looking sideline, incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. And now it's second down.
Work with me, partner. Take a deep breath, because that's what they're doing down the field now. That incompletion allowed them to exhale a little bit. Get in the huddle, kind of scan the crowd, see if any celebrities are here. Relax a little bit as they start this big drive.
So back-to-back incompletions, now 3rd and 10. And first things first, before you think about marching the ball down the field, you got to move the chains.
You're exactly right. Got to get back into focus here. Get the first down. That's what's vital to them.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. And Jeffrey's got it. And he's finally taken down, but not before getting across midfield and across the 45-yard line. And now a first down following that long gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Now Wentz signaling frantically, let's get to the line. And did he just clock that? Looked like he tried to stop the clock, but the clock wasn't even moving. The Eagles on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Back to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across for the touchdown, and it's likely the game winner here in the closing stages.
How many people are watching this one right here who gave up? Because that score, they might want to try and rush back into this stadium.
Yeah, what looks like is going to be the game-deciding score, although a little bit of time left, so you can't count your chickens before they're hatched.
Well, they better come back in here and watch this one, because you and I, we're not going anywhere. We want to see this one play out.
And they're able to ground it in there on the 2-point try, and you and I were talking before the game that 2-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for 2, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for 2 early? That's what people are wondering about.
He's going to let it fly. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in the football game. Prescott. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left. Second down, sacked by the defense. What type of pressure will they bring here on third? We'll see. Here's Prescott. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 35. And all the way down to the 26. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Philadelphia, the win is a good one for morale, but little else as they move to 3-8. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for the Bears, they go down to defeat for just the second time in 11 games so far. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against San Francisco. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Eagles are winners here as we say so long from Philadelphia.